In my experience, because you think like people, because this is what a lot of people say, and it's just what you could think if you don't think these things through all the way deeply enough. You think that like people are indoctrinated into the Catholic faith, right? Like you might hear someone who's a non-believer say that, well, people just believe these dogmas, this indoctrination of our kids, but these religious people are brainwashed, as if the elites of society across whatever time try to brainwash people into joy. Like, I'm pretty sure it works, like, if someone's brainwashed, they're brainwashed for the purpose of being controllable, not, uncontrollable, because if they found, Jesus Christ, what else would they need, right? But if they didn't have Jesus Christ, well, they're going to be filling that hole with all sorts of products that can be sold. But that aside, I just moved to, Wheaton, and this very religious Catholic community by accident. That's another story for another video, but I met a lot of Catholics here, a lot of Catholic guys, dozens of them, and many of them have told me their testimony about how they came to the faith. And yes, they did go to Catholic school, most of them, growing up, but they all, and myself included, had this period of adolescence where they, despite all of that, fell away from the faith and, kind of like really forgot about it and fell into sin, and, it led them to a very dark place. But through their prayer, they had some sort of transformation, whether it's night terrors that went away or, testimony with like these insane coincidences that are in collaboration and conjunction with a prayer life, and that is what reconverted them back to the Catholic faith. Not anything that had anything to do with schooling in the past, but rather the transformational power as given in testimonies. And the reason for their falling away from the faith initially at the time of their adolescence is actually, I would say, a lack of faith and a turning away as to maybe really discover the truth of things by exploring other things, and specifically not accepting the Catholic faith as true by some authority or teacher or parent or society, and not accepting that as incontrovertibly true, which kind of like just speaks to the power of it and goes completely against the definition of believing dogma. And like it took me like years and years and years of thinking about this to come to this conclusion. So if you're hearing this idea for the first time, and if you're hearing this idea for the first time, like, I don't know if you, like, what are you gonna do? Listen to the message, process it, think on it, come up to a conclusion of what I'm talking about, and then like also reflect on your life, and then think of a response in the comment section, and then write it out, like all within 0.1 seconds. Like, this is something that might like take some time to kind of just meditate on. So like, I want to hear engagement in the comments, but like, feel free to like think about what I'm saying for 5 years, and then, drop a comment later. I'll set a reminder in your phone, like, I gotta send a comment to Tim Trocchi's video on YouTube that was posted on, July 13th, 2026. But yeah, I do want to see comments, under the video. But thanks if you made it this far. Peace.